Today, it's not going to be about you, it's going to be about me. I figured as the host of nextlaugh.com, you should know something about me. You should know that there's also a serious side. Some people, it's hard to believe, but there is a serious side. In fact, though I'm not religious by any stretch of the imagination, I had what might be called a religious experience. This took place many, many years ago, and it was you think of this great shaft of light coming down, and and then the voice, and I just heard the voice, and the voice was it went, you know, hey, 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 you. This is the God, Lord, Key. I'd like for you to be my and I said, representative on Earth. You might say it did shake me up. Among other things, it's not only you're hearing things, but this idea of a God speaking in a deep baritone voice through a megaphone. And here, this deity had, at best, a prepubescent squeak. And on top of it, we always have this idea, or at least I do, of perfection in a God. And here, are you kidding me? A stutterer? But in some ways, I was honored because to be a prophet under any god, especially at a time when I couldn't get my dog to sit, it did appeal to me. But the problem was that this Mallarchey had, he had a plan, but in some ways it was muddled, and as his messenger, I had to have some message, and there are mysteries in religion, understandably, but you can't have a complete mystery. Something has to be revealed. And it wasn't like I wasn't trying to meet him halfway. I went to the highest point in New Jersey that wasn't landfill. I prostrated myself on the ground. I asked him for guidance, and there wasn't a peep. This was one fickle non-communicator. And that was it for a long, long period of time. Only recently I was on a nature walk and I heard that voice. Hey, 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 you. It's a key. And I figured after all these years, and he still hasn't seen a speech therapist, but he was a little more direct with what he had to say. The polar ice cap is melting, and then those polar bears. Why? Why? And I tried explaining to him about the greenhouse effect and global warming. But Mallarchey would have none of it. It's not the factors. It is a rotten apple among you who has to be sacrificed. At that point, I started feeling a chill because after a while, I felt he hadn't come halfway. I myself had never gotten one believer in all those years. And for a moment, I blamed Mallarchey on choosing me because even at the office, it was known that I couldn't even sell family. But still, I started taking Mallarchey a lot more seriously because Mike Tyson, though he didn't stutter, spoke in that high-pitched voice, and look what he did to opponents. I felt a certain fear and trembling as I asked, and who may that rotten apple be? Cheney. Dick Cheney. Oh, boy, was I relieved. I felt like I had dodged the bullet.